Tonight's headlines: Palace praises PSG for protecting Duterte. AFP serious in PSG inoculation probe. Sotto moves for ABS-CBN's franchise renewal. Coronavirus cases in the country at 478,761. Further study needed for COVID saliva tests. Amihan to bring clouds, rains over parts of Luzon. PSEi opens on positive note. And Peso has slight gains versus US dollar. Good evening. Today is Monday, January 4, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel, and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. Malacanang on Monday praised the members of the Presidential Security Group who were vaccinated against COVID-19 despite the lack of approval from regulators, arguing it was a testament to how far they were willing to go to protect President Rodrigo Duterte. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque explained that the PSG viewed COVID-19 as a threat to Duterte's security, adding that protecting the president was not a mistake. To recall, the president's close-in security escorts were vaccinated despite the absence of a COVID-19 vaccine approved by the Food and Drug Administration for use in the Philippines. Defending his unit's action, PSG Commander Brigadier General Jesus Duterte III said they wanted to make sure that they were not themselves a threat to the president's health and safety. The inoculation of PSG members was being investigated by the military, the FDA, and the National Bureau of Investigation. Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesman Major General Edgar Arevalo maintained that the Philippine military was serious about shedding light on the controversial inoculation of some personnel of the Presidential Security Group. Arevalo said the probe would begin on January 5 and assured the public that the AFP leadership would never tolerate any wrongdoing among its personnel. To recall, AFP Chief General Gilbert Gapay directed a thorough probe on the PSG members' inoculation as he wanted to shed light on the circumstances of the controversial vaccination. According to Arevalo, the probe would be led and conducted by AFP Inspector General Lieutenant General Franco Nemesio Gacal. Some members of the Presidential Security Group were already vaccinated against COVID-19 despite the absence of a Food and Drug Administration approved vaccine in the country. Senate President Vicente Sotto III on Monday moved for the franchise renewal of broadcast media giant ABS-CBN Corporation 6 months after the House Committee on Legislative Franchises voted to deny its application. Senate Bill number 1967, authored by Sotto, seeks to renew the franchise granted to ABS-CBN to construct, install, operate, and maintain television and radio broadcasting stations in the Philippines for another 25 years. According to the Constitution, all private bills, such as the franchise for ABS-CBN, shall originate exclusively in the House of Representatives. Sotto said he is still in the process of getting a consensus from both houses of Congress regarding the bill. While a House panel during the speakership of Taguig Pateros Representative Alan Peter Cayetano thumbed down the application of ABS-CBN for franchise renewal last year, Sotto said nothing stops a congressman from filing a new franchise bill again under the 18th Congress. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring Ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Manong Joe po,
At Ate Maita,
may good news uli ang Meralco. Muling bumaba ang overall electricity rates. 4 centavos per kilowatt hour ang decrease natin ngayong buwan. Isa ito sa pinakamababang rate natin ngayong taon. Dahil to sa pagsisikap ng Meralco na mapababa ang singil sa kuryente.
at good news pa, mas madali na ang pagbabayad ng monthly Meralco bills. Dati, kailangan pang gumamit ng reference numbers na mahaba at mabago-bago buwan-buwan. At kapag nag-expire, kailangan mag-request ng kapalit.
Now you can say goodbye to your ATM and Meralco reference numbers. Customer account number o CAN na lang ang tatandaan. Maikli, walang expiry at pwede sa lahat ng payment partners.
Ang dali! Simula pa lang ito ng mga pagbabago mula sa Meralco.
Isang maliwanag na Pasko sa inyong lahat.
The Department of Health reported 959 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Monday. It will bring the total number of infections in the country to 478,761, even as 3 laboratories failed to submit reports on time. Quezon City recorded the highest number of new cases at 73, followed by Davao City with 70, Rizal with 58, Agusan del Sur with 44, and Laguna with 41. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 448,279 after 26 patients recovered from the respiratory disease. The death toll is at 9,263 with 6 fatalities recorded. There are also 21,219 active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III earlier said any possible surge in COVID-19 cases driven by holiday festivities would not be evident until January 15 due to the incubation period of the virus. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said that saliva tests for COVID-19 need further study, referring to the suggestion of the Philippine Red Cross to use saliva tests for COVID-19 as an alternative to RT-PCR test since it is cheaper and yields results faster. Vergere said the DOH recommendation were sent to the Philippine Red Cross in November last year, which include conducting further study, increasing the number of participants in its trial, and securing Food and Drug Administration approval for a saliva testing kit. Vergere said the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine also started studying the viability of saliva tests for COVID-19 last November 2020. In Malacanang, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque called for a speedy evaluation of the saliva test. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Monday said that cloudy skies and light rains will prevail over parts of Mindanao and Luzon in the next 24 hours due to the Intertropical Convergence Zone and the Northeast Monsoon or Amihan. In its 4 p.m. bulletin, the State Weather Bureau said the ITZZ was affecting Mindanao while Amihan was affecting northern and central Luzon. Cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms were forecast over Caraga, Davao Region, and Soc-Sargen, while partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers should be expected over the rest of the country. Pagasa advised residents of the areas to prepare for possible flash floods or landslides due to moderate to heavy rains or severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, cloudy skies with light rains were seen to prevail over the Cagayan Valley, Cordillera Administrative Region, Aurora, and northern Quezon, while partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains were also seen over Metro Manila, Ilocos Region, the rest of Central Luzon, and the rest of Calabarzon. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung soft ha, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa fiancé ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
In business, Philippine share prices closed the first trading day of the year positively, buoyed by optimism on the possible rollout of the vaccine for the coronavirus disease and sentiment overseas. The main PSEi gained 57.79 points or 0.81% to 7,197.50 at the closing bell. The broader all shares index grew 44.55 points or 1.04% to 4,317.16. Regina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Limningan said that local shares kicked off the year on a positive note as investors made bets ahead of the vaccine rollout and the recovery of the Philippine economy. He added that sentiment spilled over as U.S. stocks went out with a bang on Thursday, the last trading day of 2020, with major indices setting fresh record highs to cap the year off. More than 21.550 billion shares valued at 10.029 billion pesos changed hands. Winners led losers 124 to 121 and 36 issues were unchanged. And the Philippine peso posted slight gains against the US dollar on the first trading day of 2021 following the release of economic data earlier during the session. The local currency gained 0.3 centavos to close at 48.02 to a dollar versus the previous finish of 48.023 to a dollar on December 29, 2020, the last trading day of 2020. Earlier on the session, IHS Markit reported the Philippines Purchasing Managers Index at 49.2 in December versus 49.9 in November. The PMI is a composite indicator of the manufacturing sector's performance with 50.0 as the threshold. A reading above 50 indicates growth, while below 50 is a contraction. Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation Chief Economist Michael Ricafort said that it would lead to some softness in imports data that would reduce the demand for US dollars to pay for imports amid continued GCQ in Metro Manila since June 2020. Ricafort also attributed Monday's close to the long New Year holiday weekend, which may have led to accumulated US dollars that were converted to pesos for holiday spending. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Parsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store on Viber and search for Katribu. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and the Araneta City for their continued support. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Sir, ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.